Ever wondered if humans will ever colonize other planets in our lifetime? It's a question that has been dancing around our minds for decades, perhaps even centuries. The idea of space colonization, of setting foot on alien soils and calling them home, is something that has both fascinated and haunted us. In recent years, this question has moved from the realm of science fiction to the realm of possibility. The rapid advancements in technology have brought us closer and closer to turning this dream into a reality. We've seen rockets reach the stars, rovers explore the surfaces of Mars, and telescopes peer into the farthest corners of the universe. Our understanding of our own solar system and the universe beyond has expanded exponentially, fueling our curiosity and our ambition to reach out and touch the stars. But it's not just technological progress that has brought us to this point. The increasing interest in space exploration has also played a significant role. The human spirit, that innate desire to explore, to push boundaries, to venture into the unknown, has been a driving force behind this quest. Space, the final frontier, represents the ultimate challenge, the ultimate adventure. It beckons us, inviting us to leave our mark on the universe, yet the journey to colonizing other planets is fraught with challenges. It's not as simple as packing up a spaceship and setting off into the cosmos. There are countless factors to consider, from the technical and logistical challenges of space travel to the biological and psychological implications of living in space. And then there's the question of ethics, of what it means to be a spacefaring species. Yet despite these challenges, the dream persists. We look up at the night sky, at the twinkling stars and the glowing moon, and we can't help but wonder. We dream of distant worlds, of new horizons, of a future where humans have stepped beyond the confines of Earth and have made their home among the stars. But the question remains, will we ever colonize other planets? The answer to that question is still shrouded in mystery, still waiting to be uncovered. As we continue this journey, as we venture further and further into the cosmos, we inch closer and closer to finding out. Before we can set foot on another planet, we must first overcome several challenges. The quest for space colonization is like trying to solve a complex, multi-layered puzzle, each piece presenting a different challenge. So, what are the main hurdles we need to clear? Firstly, the distance. Space is vast, and the planets we've set our sights on, like Mars or even exoplanets far beyond our solar system, are millions, if not billions, of miles away. This isn't a weekend road trip we're talking about here. We're dealing with a journey that could potentially last years, if not decades. The spacecraft would need to be resilient, capable of withstanding the harsh environment of space, and fast enough to make the journey feasible. Secondly, the issue of resources. We can't pack a suitcase with a lifetime supply of food, water, and air. We need to figure out a way to either transport these resources in a sustainable manner or generate them on site. This could mean growing food in a Martian greenhouse, mining water from lunar ice, or converting the carbon dioxide in the Martian atmosphere into breathable oxygen. Lastly, we can't forget about the human element. The physical and psychological impacts of long-duration space travel are substantial. The human body didn't evolve to live in zero gravity or to withstand the increased radiation levels in space. And then there's the isolation. Imagine being confined in a small space, millions of miles away from home, with the same small group of people for years on end. The psychological toll could be immense. These challenges are substantial, no doubt. They present questions that scientists and researchers are grappling with every day. Questions that don't always have clear or straightforward answers. But that's the nature of exploration, isn't it? It's about pushing the boundaries of what we know, what we can do, and where we can go. These challenges may seem insurmountable, but is there a way to overcome them? Despite these challenges, humans have always been known for their ingenuity and resilience. We are a species that thrives on problem solving, and the obstacles of space colonization are no exception. So let's explore the potential solutions we're cooking up for these cosmic conundrums. Firstly, we have to think about how we're going to get there, and I'm not talking about a leisurely Sunday drive. We're talking about traversing vast distances of space, and for that we need advanced propulsion systems. Scientists are already working on this with concepts like ion drives, nuclear propulsion, and even theoretical warp drives. These technologies could potentially cut travel time to distant planets significantly, making the dream of colonization a little more feasible. But let's not forget about resources. We can't pack everything we need for a permanent stay into a spaceship. Space, as it turns out, is pretty big, and luggage allowances are well limited. So we turn to in situ resource utilization, or ISRU. This is the practice of using materials found on other planets to support life and operations. Think of it as cosmic recycling. It could involve extracting water from the Martian soil or mining asteroids for valuable metals. By utilizing what's already out there, we can lighten our load and increase our sustainability. And then there's the creation of artificial environments. We're not just talking about inflatable habitats or space stations, but entire ecosystems that can support life. These could be biodomes or even terraformed landscapes that mimic Earth's environment. It's a massive undertaking, but one that could make other planets feel a little more like home. Through these solutions, we're slowly chipping away at the daunting task of space colonization. Each one represents a piece of the puzzle, a step towards making the seemingly impossible possible. But as we peer into the vastness of space, we have to ask ourselves, these solutions may seem promising, but will they be enough to colonize other planets? Considering these solutions, what are the prospects of space colonization? Let's dive into it. We find ourselves in an era where the idea of colonizing other planets is not just science fiction, but a tangible possibility. Several space agencies and private companies have set their sights on the stars, with grand plans to establish colonies beyond our home planet. NASA, for instance, has been developing the Artemis program, aiming to return humans to the moon by 2024. This lunar presence is not merely a nostalgic trip down memory lane, but a stepping stone to Mars. The moon will serve as a proving ground for technologies and strategies that could be used on the red planet. Meanwhile, SpaceX, under the vision of Elon Musk, has its eyes set even further. Musk's plan is not just to visit Mars, but to build a self-sustaining city on the Martian surface with a population of 1 million people. He hopes to achieve this by the mid-21st century, a timeline that's ambitious to say the least. On the other side of the globe, China's space agency has been making strides with its lunar exploration program. They aim to establish a crewed lunar research station by the late 2030s and have even hinted at potential interstellar missions. These are just a handful of projects among many. The European Space Agency, Russia's Roscosmos, and others are all contributing to this global effort. The prospects seem thrilling, to say the least. But it's important to remember that these plans are built on a foundation of complex challenges, from technological hurdles to ethical considerations. Are these timelines feasible? Can we overcome the obstacles that stand in our way? Only time will tell. We are, after all, talking about venturing into the unknown, pushing the boundaries of human capability and knowledge. These prospects may seem exciting, but are they realistic? That's the question we need to explore as we continue to look skyward, dreaming of a future among the stars. Assuming we do colonize other planets, what would be the implications? Let's delve into the maze of possibilities. At first glance, the concept of space colonization brings to mind visions of interstellar societies and technological marvels. But as we step further into this realm of thought, we uncover deeper layers of implications, each more profound than the last. Consider the ethical and legal issues. Who would own these newly colonized planets? Would they be claimed by individual nations, or would they be considered common property of humanity? And what about the rights of potential extraterrestrial life forms? If we stumble upon alien microbes on Mars, do we have the right to displace them? These questions might seem far-fetched today, but in the context of space colonization, they become startlingly relevant. Next, let's ponder the potential for new discoveries. The colonization of other planets could lead to breakthroughs in science and technology that we can barely dream of today. Imagine the advancements in fields like astrobiology, geology, and physics that could come from studying and living on an alien world. The potential for knowledge is as vast as space itself. Lastly, we must contemplate the impact on human society and culture. As we branch out into the cosmos, we would inevitably evolve as a species. Our cultures, languages, and societal structures could undergo transformations as dramatic as those experienced by our earthbound ancestors when they first set sail across uncharted seas. We might even see the emergence of new human subspecies adapted to the unique conditions of their extraterrestrial homes. Moreover, the psychological impact of living on a distant world, far from the comforting blue-green sphere of our birth, should not be underestimated. How would it feel to gaze upon Earth from another planet? Would it foster a sense of unity or deepen our divisions? Implications may seem profound, but are we ready to face them? So, will we ever colonize other planets? This question has been at the heart of our discussion, hasn't it? And as we've seen, it's a question that doesn't have a simple yes or no answer. It's a question that demands we look at it from every angle, considering the immense challenges and the potential solutions. We've talked about the daunting challenges that space colonization presents, the harsh environments, the vast distances, the lack of resources, and the physical and psychological toll on colonists. We've delved into the technological innovations and scientific breakthroughs that are needed to overcome these challenges, and we've pondered over the possibilities, the prospects, and the implications of humankind becoming an interplanetary species. But the verdict? Well, that's where it gets interesting. The verdict isn't a final decision, but rather a dynamic, ever-evolving conclusion. It's a verdict that changes as our understanding of the universe expands, as our technology advances, and as our determination to reach for the stars continues to drive us forward. Many believe that it's not a matter of if we will colonize other planets, but when. They argue that our survival as a species might depend on it, that our insatiable curiosity and pioneering spirit will ultimately lead us to establish a foothold on other worlds. On the other hand, there are those who question the feasibility and the ethics of space colonization. They raise concerns about the potential risks and the enormous costs, both financial and environmental. They caution us to think about the consequences of bringing our earthly problems to other planets, but here's the beautiful part. The verdict isn't just up to the experts or the policymakers, it's up to all of us. It's up to us to weigh the pros and cons, to question, to dream, and to decide what kind of future we want for humanity. Whether we will ever colonize other planets remains a mystery, but one thing is certain, the journey to find out will be an exciting one. In the end, the question of space colonization is not just about technology or resources. It's about more than that. It's about our innate human curiosity, our relentless ambition, and our insatiable desire to explore the unknown. It's about that spark within us that makes us look up at the night sky and wonder, what if? For centuries, humans have been pushing the boundaries of our world, driven by a hunger for knowledge and a thirst for discovery. We've climbed the highest mountains, dived into the deepest oceans, and even taken our first tentative steps beyond our own planet. Space colonization represents the next frontier in that journey. But why are we so drawn to this idea? Why do we dream of living on distant planets when we have a perfectly good one right here? Well, the answer lies within us. We are explorers by nature. We are wired to seek out new experiences, to push beyond our comfort zones, to continually question and learn. Our fascination with space colonization is not just about survival or expansion. It's about challenging ourselves, about pushing the limits of what we know and what we can do. It's about the thrill of discovery, the joy of exploration, and the satisfaction of solving the mysteries of the universe. And let's not forget about the immense potential for scientific advancement that space exploration holds. The technology we develop, the knowledge we gain, and the innovations we create in our quest to colonize space could revolutionize our lives on Earth in ways we can't even begin to imagine. So as we stand on the brink of this new frontier, it's important to remember that the journey to space colonization is not a sprint, but a marathon. It's a complex, challenging, and potentially long-term endeavor that will require not just technological advancements, but also a shift in our mindset. We need to be ready to embrace the unknown, to face the challenges head-on, and to adapt to new environments and situations. We need to nurture our curiosity, fuel our ambition, and never stop asking questions. Because it's these questions that will drive us forward, that will push us to innovate and adapt, and that will ultimately enable us to turn our dreams of space colonization into reality. And so, as we look to the stars and dream of distant worlds, let's remember to keep that spark of curiosity alive. Let's continue to learn, to explore, and to question, because it's this relentless pursuit of knowledge, this insatiable desire to explore, that defines us as humans. So keep exploring, keep questioning, and who knows, one day we might just find ourselves living on another planet.